salute to a fallen hero.
We stand in awe of the sacrifice that he made last week.
Lieutenant Edward Walsh, Boston firefighter, husband, father, friend.
Your daddy's watching down on you and your mommy and your brothers, family, grandmother, every one of us.
He gave his life to save others.
He was destined to do great things, and he did.
Today, his colleagues and the community gathered to honor his sacrifice.
To Lieutenant Edward J. Walsh, Jr., you have answered the final bell.
I'm Paula Evans.
And I'm Jonathan Elias. Good to have you along this evening. It has been an emotional day in Boston. The city said goodbye to one of two firefighters killed in the line of duty 1 week ago today.
Outside St. Patrick's Church in Watertown, thousands of firefighters stood in silence, paying their respects. Michael Walsh stood at attention, holding his brother's helmet.
Bagpipes led the procession to the church where Walsh was baptized as a baby. Fellow firefighters helped move his casket from a fire truck to the church for a funeral mass. Ken McLeod is live at St. Patrick's Church in Watertown, where an enormous crowd gathered to say goodbye. Ken?
It was enormous, Jonathan. You know, firefighters from all over the eastern United States stood 20 deep out here on Main Street, thousands of them listening to the funeral mass on big speakers that were set up right here on the sidewalk. They stood for well over 2 hours and heard some pretty compelling stuff about a fireman and a father. His widow, Kristen, accepted the Firefighter's Medal of Honor on her husband's behalf as symbolic bells clanged one final time for a mission well done. But Sister Kathy wanted to talk about Eddie Walsh, the man.
Ed was sincere, and people knew where they stood with him. He told it like it was, and there were no airs about him. If he expected something, you did it, because Eddie asked you to do it.
He was born to be a fireman, many agreed, but was well into his 30s before he answered that calling, like his dad, uncles, and cousins before him. Last week, the lieutenant on Engine 15 perished in the basement of a Beacon Street brownstone.
He put himself in harm's way so that we might be safe. He was a true hero.
Today, inside a packed church with thousands of firefighters from far and wide listening outside, the man friends called Edzo was remembered as a fireman and father who led by example.
I know he was smart, decisive, bigger than life, a great athlete, but easy with people.
There were a bunch of tears and a few laughs, but mostly there was pride and thanks for a man who did it right, even when the cost was his life.
We all feel the loss of a good man. But at the same time, we have a sense of gratitude.
Now, after Walsh's body went to the cemetery, the firefighters here boarded buses for Florian Hall and then went almost immediately on to the wake for firefighter Michael Kennedy. Indeed, a very tough day for them. Live in Watertown tonight, Ken McLeod, WBZ News. Jonathan, back to you.
All right, Ken, thank you.
Firefighters from all 50 states are in the Boston area tonight.
They say it's very important to recognize when their brothers sacrifice themselves to save others. Here's Christina Hager.
We hear the term brotherhood and sisterhood a lot. This is when we learn what it truly means. The firefighters of Engine 33, who were by each other's side every day, now carrying a fallen brother still by his side. On the streets of Watertown, that firefighter family multiplied by the thousand from across the country.
We count on our blessings every day that we go home, and we're very fortunate in the city of Toledo to be able to serve the citizens.
They do it because they know it could be them, and many have lost partners in their own departments.
It's time to pay it back.
Yonkers, New York.
We recently had some line of duty deaths ourselves, and people show their support for us. It's just something you do. You know, you turn out for your brothers.
Toledo, Ohio, which recently lost 2.
We just suffered a loss just 2 months to the day ago, 2 of our own firefighters. So we thought it was important to be here for Boston.
because others have been there for them. That's what they mean when they say brotherhood. Not only here for Lieutenant Walsh now, but for those he leaves behind. It seemed impossible so many firefighters could fit on one street. They say it has helped them when they suffered their own losses, and they can only hope this now helps Boston and Lieutenant Ed Walsh's family to heal. In Watertown, Christina Hager, WBZ News.
The death of Lieutenant Ed Walsh has been felt well beyond the city of Boston, and you could see that by just the sheer numbers of people who lined the streets to pay their respects. Beth Germano is live for us tonight in Watertown. Beth?
And Paula, so many didn't feel like strangers here. They feel like they had gotten to know Lieutenant Walsh even just a little bit over the last week and felt compelled to line Main Street here and show respect and honor his bravery and ultimate sacrifice.
Every time they put on the uniform or respond to a call, that could happen.
And it's why Aaron Kahn Bork salutes as the casket goes by, alongside the Brotherhood of Firefighters. Members of the public honoring the sacrifice made every day for them.
These are the people that run into danger when they don't have to save people they don't know.
It's what Lieutenant Edward Walsh did exactly 1 week ago, along with firefighter Michael Kennedy. The wife of a Cambridge firefighter says it brings the risks of the job home.
He's been on almost 28 years, and I said to him the other day, I said, I never thought of it as much as I have this past week.
The loss felt deeply by so many who didn't know Lieutenant Walsh, but moved by both his bravery and personal story.
He has children and a wife who he left behind, and he was trying to save someone. So how could you not be moved by that?
Their faces told of heavy hearts watching the somber procession, and a reminder of the potential danger these men and women face.
People don't understand they put their lives on the line every day. They could go out the door tomorrow and not come home.
They take care of the communities they serve each and every day. Today, in acknowledgement, the firefighters need to take care of themselves.
This is amazing brotherhood and sisterhood, and the support that they give one another at times like this is just amazing.
And many called witnessing this funeral procession overwhelming, the bond of the firefighting brotherhood on full display, and perhaps creating a deeper appreciation for the job they do. Reporting live from Watertown, I'm Beth Germano, WBZ News. Jonathan?
Mara, Beth, thank you. And when firefighters broke the news of Lieutenant Walsh's death to his wife, she had one request: find his wedding ring. Walsh's band fell off his finger while he battled the 9-alarm fire in the Back Bay. Investigators searched for hours and hours, and just as they began to lose hope, Patty Donovan, the department's first female firefighter, found what they were looking for.
I was just lucky enough to get the scoop of debris, really, in my sister that it was in. I mean, you know, because there was 6 of us in there. It wasn't only, you know, we were all in there together.
Firefighters presented that ring to Walsh's wife, Kristen, during last night's wake. Tomorrow through Sunday, the Prudential Tower will be lit in red and gold to honor the Boston Fire Department, Lieutenant Ed Walsh, and firefighter Michael Kennedy, also killed in last week's fire. You can look for those lights after 5 o'clock each night.
Right now, a wake for firefighter Michael Kennedy is underway in West Roxbury. These are live pictures right now of the hundreds upon hundreds of people in line waiting to get into the P.E. Murray Funeral Home there. This wake is scheduled to run through 8 o'clock tonight, but will likely go much later. Kennedy was just 33 years old when he was killed fighting last week's fire in the Back Bay.
When you go to work, I mean, no one thinks they're going to go and die, you know? I mean, no one, you just don't think that. You know, you go and you do your shift, and you go home at the end of the shift. But unfortunately, in the profession we're in, sometimes things happen.
Coming up at 5:30, we'll have a look at how family, friends, and colleagues are remembering firefighter Michael Kennedy.
Coming up for us, a young New Hampshire girl fighting to survive a rare cancer. The experimental drug that could save her life. And the FDA's ruling on whether she can take it. Plus,
I am very troubled that you are not willing to commit to ending this culture of secrecy at General Motors.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you have.
General Motors CEO on the hot seat. What the company knew about an ignition problem that's led to more than a dozen deaths.
And a Harvard student says the university ignored her accusations of sexual assault, the university responds. That's coming up next.
No, we're kind of on cruise control. The weather department has got some fairly peaceful conditions, but by Friday, the cold in a way returns. We'll take a look at that Fenway home opener when we come back.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Luna.
Buy 2 rooms of flooring with installation and get product for the rest of your home for $99.
877-241 Luna.
Diamonds, the jewelry exchange has half-carat solitaires for $4.99, 1-carat $9.90, and 1-carat certified solitaires $19.90. We have most sizes and grades of GIA diamonds and a low price guarantee. We said while you watch, buy direct, the jewelry exchange in Sudbury.
I've had 36 orthopedic surgeries.
Gymnastics took a toll on my back, hips, knees, and feet.
Then I found Good Feet, with certified specialists and custom fittings in every store.
Millions of people just like me.
And me are changing the way we greet each and every pain-free day.
So call or visit a Good Feet location today for your free foot analysis.
And just like us, you can go from being bad feet
to nice little good feet.
Call 617-581-6989 or visit bostonfootpain.com.
Life is full of surprises, some good, some not so good. Don't get caught by surprise. Ask an independent agent about safety insurance enhanced coverage, auto, home, and business. Safety insurance will help you manage life's storms.
Seeing is believing. Big Apple Circus all-new show, Luminosity. Electrifying excitement. Watch record-breaking juggling, high-flying acrobats, hand-to-hand feats of dexterity, heartwarming clowns, jaw-dropping tightrope walkers, syncopated horses, and dancing dogs. You and your family will experience thrills galore, sitting no more than 50 feet from the ring at the crossroads of the world. Big Apple Circus all-new show, now playing on City Hall Plaza. BigAppleCircus.org. Buy tickets now.
At Southern New Hampshire University, we traveled across the country to celebrate the success of our online students who couldn't attend graduation.
Thank you guys for giving me a chance again. It's something that I worked for a long time.
Because we believe student success is success worth celebrating.
Who did you get this degree for? I got it for me.
I did this for Mom.
Yeah, I did it for you, bud.
Congratulations, Daddy.
Find your online graduate or undergraduate program today at smhu.edu.
Strikes the Plymouth Police Department. Late this afternoon, officers escorted the body of Greg Maloney from Boston to Plymouth. The motorcycle officer was on duty yesterday when he was killed in a crash. Tonight, investigators are trying to figure out exactly what caused that accident.
Maloney, who's a 17-year veteran of the Plymouth Police Department, crashed while driving on Samoset Road. Bill Shields is in Plymouth tonight.
The body of police officer Greg Maloney came home today, back to Plymouth, and to his family of police officers, and to his best friend, Marty Mason.
Every guy back there, every officer, every male, female officer will tell you the same thing. Always had a smile for you, always an encouraging word. No matter what was going on in his life, he found a positive.
Yesterday afternoon, here on Samoset Street in Plymouth, Maloney somehow lost control of his police motorcycle and crashed, killing the 17-year veteran. It's still not clear what happened, only that the Plymouth police lost a popular leader.
We're all dealing with the loss of firefighters. It hurts all of us. It's a public safety situation, and we're all very close, and that meant a lot to us, and a lot of our officers were involved in that. And to have this happen, this shortly after that is pretty traumatic for all of us.
Maloney's remains had been at the medical examiner's office in Boston, where they were trying to solve the puzzle of his death. The road back to Plymouth today was lined with other first responders paying their respects. And at the department headquarters, residents were also showing their respect for a man who grew up here, raised a family, then spent his career protecting his hometown.
Brought chills to me. I mean, anyone that it happens to, especially law enforcement, it's just terrible. They protect and serve, and then life's taken in 2 seconds.
In Plymouth, I'm Bill Shields, WBZ News.
Harvard University is on damage control tonight over a letter that a young woman sent to the school newspaper. It says the university ignored her rape claims for nearly a year. Lisa Hughes is here tonight. Lisa?
Well, Paula, the student sent an anonymous but very detailed letter to the Harvard Crimson, spelling out that a classmate sexually assaulted her. She claims that she reported the assault to school authorities, and she writes in the letter, quote, "I was told by a senior member of the college administration that the administrative board was very unlikely to issue a charge against my assailant and to launch a thorough investigation process because my assailant may not have technically violated the school's policy in the student handbook." Now, Harvard officials say they have created a task force on the current policy. They want input from students on whether the policy should change. Harvard also sent a letter to students insisting that sexual harassment and sexual assault can never be tolerated. The school says the task force report should be ready in a few months. Jonathan?
All right, Lisa, thank you. Today, General Motors' CEO faced a second day of questioning on Capitol Hill. Lawmakers want answers about the faulty ignition switch that may have caused the deaths of as many as 13 people. And as Craig Boswell shows us, some relatives of those who were killed were at today's hearing.
Family members looked on as GM CEO Mary Barra continued to deflect questions about the car company's potential cover-up of a faulty ignition switch linked to 13 deaths. Barra maintained she is waiting for the results of an internal investigation.
Can you tell us whether General Motors intentionally misled its customers and federal regulators when someone decided to delay disclosing or fixing the faulty ignition switch?
I don't know. That's why we're doing the investigation.
Her lack of answers seemed to irritate the senators.
Oh, you can't even talk to that? You don't know anything about anything.
The toughest questions focused on a GM engineer who approved a replacement for the ignition switch without changing its part number. Because of that decision, GM continued to use the faulty switch.
Is he still working there every day?
Yes.
Okay, and you know that he lied under oath?
The data that's been put in front of me indicates that, but I'm waiting for the full investigation.
Several senators are calling for tough action against GM executives if they covered up the deadly mistake.
If they valued cost over quality once we knew there was a safety defect, that is unacceptable.
This, to me, is not in a matter of acceptability. This is criminal deception.
Barra did say she would be willing to appear before Congress again when the internal investigation is complete. Craig Boswell for CBS News, Washington.
Barra blamed many of the problems in what she called the old GM. She says she is trying to use the culture of the car company to put safety ahead of profits.
Chrysler just announced a big SUV recall. Nearly 870,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee and Dodge Durangos from 2011 to 2014 will be inspected. Chrysler says joints in the brake boosters can corrode, making the vehicle's brakes more difficult to use. Dealers will install a shield in order to protect the boosters and replace them when necessary.
It's so nice when you have a day like this with the weather we've had for the last couple of days, but there's that side of you, given the winter we've come through, you keep waiting, what's around the corner?
I just asked him. I said, the sun came out this afternoon, but is it going to stay?
Actually, yes, the sun will stick around for tomorrow, and we are very fortunate. We are thinking of our friends out in Minnesota, where Jonathan once lived for a while there. You know what it's like this time of year. It might be April. Oh, still dealing with big-time snow coming down. This video out of Crookston. They just got a dumping of snow coming through, some spots of over a foot. And guess what? Another snowstorm is on the way to the Twin Cities and much of Minnesota. That will kick off tomorrow and will last into Friday. So they are just adding extra feet of snow as we turn the calendar into April. We're actually going to have a pretty big storm system develop. This is a classic early April map. Look at all the warmth across the south, lots of 80s, severe weather in the warm sector, and then the cold air to the north. And that's where the snow is going to develop. And right between, look at that line of clouds from Kansas right on over toward Long Island. That is the boundary between those two air masses. And one of those just settling off to our south tonight. This afternoon, the clouds cleared out. It's just a stellar evening. But we are feeling the influence of the ocean. If you live along the shore, you know what happens this time of year. Water temp is 37 degrees. Much cooler across Cape Cod in Boston and around Cape Ann. You move to the west, up to 58 in Fitchburg, 54 in Worcester, Orange at 57, Springfield at 60. This is going to be a similar pattern tomorrow as well. So tonight we're looking at mainly clear skies, chilly back toward the freezing mark. And then as we head into the day tomorrow, it's going to be very much like what we saw today. I think a little more consistent sunshine. 30s in the morning, sunrise is at 6:23. As we head toward lunch, we're in the upper 40s, And then the onshore breeze is kicking in, so if you're near the coast tomorrow, you stay in the 40s just like today. Inland, we will bump up into the low 50s yet again. Sunset is at 7:12. It's a pretty peaceful early April day. This is how the temps break down across the area. Warmest again, Metro West into central Mass and down toward Connecticut, and cooler right along the coastline. Then we look toward Friday. This is where an area of high pressure is going to keep the winds strongly off the ocean, so it won't be just at the shore. It's all across our area that's in much cooler air. Plus, the clouds will be moving in during the day, and then the rain showers are going to be arriving by the evening. They're going to stick around Friday night. We'll be here early on Saturday, and then this will push through and will dry out as we head towards Saturday afternoon. So for the Sox, we're still keeping this with the Fenway home opener. Mainly cloudy skies, low 40s, wind off the water. It's not good home run ball type of weather. It'll be dense air. Definitely bring a jacket, and by the end of the game, the first of the showers may be just starting to roll in. Again, those showers last early on Saturday morning. We're well up through the 50s during the afternoon, 50s and sunny on Sunday. At this point, the weekend is looking excellent. First weekend of April. We'll talk about next week. What comes after this in just a little bit. Paula?
See you in just a few minutes. Eric, thank you. At least 6 people are dead after a massive earthquake rocked Chile.
And this is a quake that triggered a tsunami. As Danielle Nottingham shows us, the shaking was so intense that people 300 miles away from the epicenter could feel the earth move.
The 8.2 quake triggered a tsunami that sent 10-foot waves smashing into fishing boats along Chile's northern coastline. Troops helped residents climb down the hillside where thousands were forced to flee to higher ground. Residents captured the violent tremors as they hit Tuesday night. The shaking destroyed hundreds of buildings and set off landslides that now block roads. This surveillance camera shows shoppers running for cover as items are knocked off shelves. Many are without power, but the damage is much less than authorities anticipated. Chile is one of the world's most earthquake-prone areas and has experienced at least 20 aftershocks. Seismologists say the threat of a larger earthquake still looms.
We expect about another 8.8, 8.9 earthquakes here sometime in the future. It could be tomorrow, it could be in 50 years. We do not know when it's going to occur. But the key point here is that this magnitude 8.2 is not the large earthquake that we were expecting.
The country's president has declared a state of emergency and is visiting the hardest hit communities to see the damage firsthand and meet with emergency workers. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News.
When we come back, doubling or even tripling your tax refund.
Yeah, still to come for us, new incentive to put that money in your savings account.
Plus, Dr. Malcolm Marshall weighs in on the mammogram debate. Her take on the new Boston-based study showing that screenings can harm just as much as they can help. Now here, Jack and Lisa, they've got a look at what's coming up on the news at 6.
Paula, Jonathan, thank you. You know, healthcare reform is supposed to make our medical bills more affordable.
But coming up, local families experiencing sticker shock, why they say signing up for insurance could actually cost a lot more than they expected.
Well, one of our favorite times of the week is Wednesday's Child, and tonight we're going to feature 6-year-old Elijah. He's overcome a lot already in his 6 years.
And he needs the right family to help him take the next step. You're going to meet him right here at 6 o'clock.
Last April, their lives changed forever. But 1 year later, they defined Boston strong.
I've been given an opportunity because of what's happened to me.
We want to inspire people to just live life better. Join us as they share their stories in a 1-hour special.
We have the survivor stands on our back. We're proud.
I'm not going to let this stop me. There's just been such an incredible outpouring of love and support. WBZ News presents The Road Ahead, Tuesday night at 7 on WBZ.
Unfortunately, I didn't reach Boylston Street, but I did end up receiving a finisher's medal for the 2013 Boston Marathon. Similarly, I received a medal from the Special Olympics, thanking me for fundraising for running in their honor. You guys know the play? With the Special Olympics, I think it's a really great example of transcending barriers, and that's something that has always been important to me. We're all in this together, and we're going to cross Boylston Street, and we're going to celebrate, all of us.
I was impressed with how many great reviews they had.
What makes CertaPro different is that our people really care about making our customers happy.
They asked what they could do to make painting an extraordinary experience for us. And they kept the gate latched.
We worked from a personalized written certainty pledge.
CertaPro painters did a wonderful job. They respected our lifestyle and our home.
It's about 5-star craftsmanship and having truly satisfied customers. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. CertaPro Painters, because painting is personal.
At UMass Lowell, we're dedicated to helping you become work-ready, life-ready, world-ready. An education that's affordable and world-class. It's why our online degree programs have won prestigious national awards for excellence. Come discover UMass Lowell's online degree programs, all highly interactive, all backed by the academic integrity of a top-ranked research university. Pursue your degree online or on campus from one of the largest continuing education programs in the Northeast. Visit continuinged.uml.edu.
Beautiful day in Baltimore. Now, most people will probably know that Geico could save them money on car insurance, right? But you see, the thing is, Geico, well, could help them save on boat insurance too.
Hi. Okay, I'm ready to come in now. Hello.
I'm trying my best.
Seriously, I'm serious. Request to come ashore.
Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
On the Health Watch tonight, a lot of folks already talking about this one. Controversy surrounding mammograms is growing.
And it is research out of Boston that finds they may not be as beneficial as once thought. Our Dr. Malika Marshall is joining us with her take on this study and what women should do.
What to do? Well, first of all, let's talk about the study. It was a study out of Harvard that suggested that deciding when and how often to have a mammogram is not a black and white issue. Researchers looked at 50 years worth of data on the effectiveness of mammograms and concluded that the benefits of screening are often overstated and that the harms are often downplayed. They found mammograms decrease the risk of dying from breast cancer by only about 19%. The survival benefit was even less for women in their 40s, but more for women in their 60s who are much more likely to get breast cancer. And among women in their 40s and 50s who get mammograms every year for 10 years, more than half of them will receive a false positive result, which I can say from personal experience is not a pleasant experience. You get a lot of anxiety. You might need more mammogram scans. You might need an ultrasound, a biopsy. Some women undergo chemo and radiation. So getting a false positive is not a simple thing.
Let's talk about the pictures themselves. Just getting a mammogram, you're exposed to radiation. How about that part of the factor?
That's a really good question because mammograms do involve radiation, small amounts, but over time that can add up. Now, there's no reason to suggest that getting mammograms actually increases your risk of getting a secondary cancer, but we don't like to expose people to radiation unless it's really necessary.
No, but we are getting to the point where this is very confusing. My sister's life was saved by a mammogram at 38. So what are women supposed to do with all this information?
Yeah, and there are going to be a lot of women out there who are going to say that mammograms saved their lives, and they can save lives. The question is when to begin, how often to screen, what to do for women who aren't at an increased risk for breast cancer. We think that women in their 50s and 60s should still get regular screening. It's the younger women we're not so sure about. So I think every woman out there needs to have a conversation with their doctor, talk about their risks, their family history, what they think they're going to do if they get a false positive. Really important to have that conversation up front.
Family history should probably dictate how soon you get involved.
Oh, sure. That is a very important factor to take into consideration.
Dr. Malika Marshall, thank you very much.
Thanks, Malika.
Well, the New Jersey teen who sued her own parents will soon be headed to the Bay State.
Yeah, still to come. Which Massachusetts school just offered the honors student a big scholarship?
Plus, the road ahead for a local teen injured in the marathon bombings. How Jillian Rennie is using her own recovery to help inspire others.
And she fought the FDA and won. But the battle isn't over yet for this New Hampshire girl with a rare brain tumor. The new challenges she faces, that's coming up next.
Like us, and you could drive away with the car of your dreams. Enter the Like CBS and Win sweepstakes, and you could win an all-new 2015 Audi A3. Go to our Facebook page, click like, and enter for your chance to win.
WBZ News is sponsored by Sleepy's, the mattress professionals.
Everything you're looking for. The larger your inventory, the better your selection. At Bach Toyota, we have everything you're looking for. The car you want, the model you want, with the options you want. All at legendary low Bach Toyota prices.
Come on down.
Choose from hundreds of new and pre-owned vehicles online at BachToyota.com. Bach Toyota right here on the Auto Mile, Route 1 in Norwood. My name is Ernie Bach Jr. Come on down.
All this week, Reed's Ferry Sheds are 10% off. Every Reed's Ferry shed, 10% off list price now through Sunday, April 13th. See 5 acres of sheds on display at Reed's Ferry. Get better quality than the box store and save 10% on the shed price. Go online to reedsferry.com. Order this week and save 10% during the spring sale.
Call 888-85 Sheds.
10% off a Reed's Ferry shed. You got a good one. Tonight's primetime lineup is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts. Blue Cross Blue Shield of you.
These are my demands.
When I call for an auto insurance quote, I want to talk to a live, intelligent, caring human being
who will give me their total attention.
I'm not a car insurance expert.
I need some help figuring out what's really best for me. If that's what you're looking for, you should call Amica right now. We live and breathe great service.
Sure, I want a good price, but that's not enough.
We agree.
It's like they can read our minds.
Discounts would also be nice.
Look at how many ways Amica can help you save. For combining auto, home, and life insurance, for anti-theft and safety features, and more.
You can even get a discount if you've been with your previous company for a while.
I want a company that'll take the time to understand what I really need. You have to call Amica.
Can you hear us?
Turn up your volume.
I don't expect a lot. Okay, maybe I do expect a lot.
We wouldn't have it any other way. So switch to Amica now.
The number's been here the whole time.
Call Amica for a quote 24/7.
From Hopkinton to Boston, there's only one place to see the whole race. WBZ, proud to be your official home for the Boston Marathon.
Tonight, a new challenge for a New Hampshire girl battling an inoperable brain tumor. We first introduced you to 12-year-old Mackenzie Lowe 4 months ago. Well, the FDA just agreed to allow her to take an experimental drug that could save her life.
Yeah, but as New Hampshire Bureau Chief Michael Rosenfield shows us, Mackenzie now has to find a doctor willing to give her that treatment.
Mackenzie Lowe is looking great and feeling well.
Sometimes I have little headaches, but they're really little, like they don't bother me that much.
And now comes news that the FDA has granted her wish to allow her to try a controversial drug her family believes could help cure her tumor.
Oh, I started crying.
But the good news was quickly tempered because there's a new fight for the family. They have to find a doctor willing to administer the unapproved drug, and so far, no luck.
But we need a doctor, is what we basically need right now, anywhere in the country. Doesn't matter where, we're going to go.
The family says doctors are reluctant. The drug therapy Mackenzie would like to undergo has been spearheaded by Texas physician Stanislaw Brzezinski, who's been criticized by many in the medical community. Still, Mackenzie's family and friends believe the drug is a risk worth taking.
It's a chance, and any chance is better than zero.
In a statement, the Food and Drug Administration told us, "We recognize that there is a range of opinion about the extent to which individuals should be able to decide for themselves how much risk they are willing to tolerate from an experimental therapy."
I mean, it's great that they're saying the drug's available. Does us no good if the kids aren't able to get on it.
For now, Mackenzie's family and friends say they have found some doctors willing to help, but the doctors are having a tough time with the FDA's stipulations. In Hudson, New Hampshire, Michael Rosenfield, WBZ News.
Tonight, long lines outside a West Roxbury funeral home as crowds gather to pay their respects to fallen firefighter Michael Kennedy. The 33-year-old lost his life battling a 9-alarm fire in the Back Bay just 1 week ago today.
This morning, hundreds and hundreds came out to honor his fallen colleague, Lieutenant Edward Walsh. And tonight they're saying goodbye to Kennedy. Kate Merrill is live for us in West Roxbury. Kate?
Paula, thousands of firefighters and first responders already made their way through the line this afternoon. Now it's time for the friends and family. This line is long. It stretches way down the street here. They're here to pay their respects to a man who volunteered with burn patients, who loved to run marathons and loved being a firefighter.
A steady stream of firefighters and first responders pour into the P.E. Murray Funeral Home to pay their respects to firefighter Michael Kennedy.
It's horrible. It just is. What are you going to say? Not much you can say. It just is.
Thousands once again are standing side by side. Their extended family, First Lieutenant Ed Walsh, now firefighter Kennedy.
We've been here since Tuesday.
We're just here to honor the fire department. This is our family. It's an extended family. We all share a common thread.
From New York City to Philadelphia and Kentucky and Dallas, another day of emotional tributes and inspiring support. Liz Murray only came from West Roxbury with her son.
You like their trucks?
Yeah.
What do their trucks sound like?
Review.
Ronell is just 2, but she wanted to be here with him to see this.
Can't even put into words. I just wanted to come and just show that we were here for them.
All in honor of the firefighter, the Marine Sergeant, Iraq War veteran, marathon runner, and motorcycle enthusiast that most never met, but somehow now feel they knew.
It's a family, and no matter where you lose one, you feel like you lost one of your own, because you feel the pain that you felt when you did lose your own.
Every single firefighter I spoke to today said they came yesterday for Lieutenant Walsh, and they will be here tomorrow for the funeral, also of firefighter Michael Kennedy. Again, this line stretching way down the street, another several hours of friends and family going to pay their respects to the family here at the wake. Live in West Roxbury tonight, Kate Merrill, WBZ News. Paula, back to you.
Yeah, 3 days of coming with their honor guards and paying their respects to these men. Kate Merrill, thank you very much. And the funeral for firefighter Kennedy will take place at Holy Name Church in West Roxbury at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. We will carry the funeral mass live. Firefighters have set up a special fund for the Walsh and Kennedy families. To find out how to donate, all the information is there for you on our website, cbsboston.com.
2 people are recovering tonight after a serious car crash on Route 109 in Medfield. Police shut down the road for several hours overnight trying to investigate this accident. Paramedics flew both victims to UMass Memorial Hospital in Worcester. There is no word on their conditions. And fire investigators are looking into an early morning blaze that destroyed a boat in East Boston. Flames swept through the boat on Condor Street. No one was on the boat at the time.
A New Jersey honors student who made international headlines for suing her parents who will attend college here in Massachusetts. 18-year-old Rachel Canning sued her parents for failing to support her financially. She eventually dropped the case and moved back home. A Western New England University in Springfield gave Canning a scholarship to attend the school in the fall. Well, the X-rays say it all. A tree trimmer in a life-or-death situation. Coming up, what he has to say about his close call with a chainsaw.
Plus, debunking travel myths and the secret to saving. What you need to know before you book your next trip.
They say the dollar's weak. Well, it's about to get stronger because Planet Fitness is having their dollar sale between now and April 10th. Sign up at Planet Fitness for only $1, then pay just $10 a month with no commitment. Only at Planet Fitness.
Report a claim. Pay your bill. Safety's mobile app is just one more way we help you manage life's storms. For auto, home, and business, ask your independent agent about safety insurance.
Diamonds, the jewelry exchange, is a direct diamond importer and producer. Compare this top chain store's 1-carat solitaires for $3,900 with our certified solitaires for $1,990. Also 1-carat solitaires for $990, 2-carat solitaires $1,990, 2-carat certified solitaires are $59.90, and 1-carat studs are $5.99. The Jewelry Exchange has most sizes and grades of GIA diamonds, thousands of mountings, and your diamond is set while you watch. Buy Diamond and Factory Direct, the Jewelry Exchange in Sudbury.
One click on buyatoyota.com and you can find the biggest selection of Toyota inventory. And then see every Toyota special offer there is, even those not seen on TV. Buyatoyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals.
I was impressed with how many great reviews they had.
What makes CertaPro different is that our people really care about making our customers happy.
They asked what they could do to make painting an extraordinary experience for us. And they kept the gate latched.
We work from a personalized written certainty pledge.
CertaPro painters did a wonderful job. They respected our lifestyle and our home.
It's about 5-star craftsmanship and having truly satisfied customers. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. CertaPro Painters, because painting is personal.
Hi, I'm Dan Ray. When your energy bills are getting you hot under the collar, you need to come on into Window World and discover all the ways that Window World can save you money and beautify your home. How about a house full of windows? That's 10 Energy Star windows for only $29.65 or just $105 a month. Not only does Window World have unbeatable deals on windows and doors, they also have a terrific selection of siding in a wide variety of sizes and colors. Plus, their optional contoured insulating foam keeps your home comfortable year-round. Don't wait for the next big change in New England weather. To save big money on your energy bills and deck your home with stunning windows and superior siding from Window World. It's never been more affordable to increase the value of your home and start saving money each and every month. So go ahead, give Window World a call. I'm a customer, you should be too.
Call now for a free estimate. 866-830-5000.
They say the dollar's weak. Well, it's about to get stronger because Planet Fitness is having their dollar sale between now and April 10th. Sign up at Planet Fitness for only $1, then pay just $10 a month with no commitment. Only at Planet Fitness.
If you're one of many planning a trip to get away for spring break, getting the best deal on airfare isn't as hard as it seems.
Tonight, Eureka Duncan breaks down some of the top myths to help you save some time and perhaps money.
Flying can be fun, but finding a good deal can be taxing.
Try the different websites like Expedia, Travelocity.
Personal finance editor Ross Kenneth Erkin says spending hours searching individual websites may be a waste of time.
There's so much comparison and competition between Orbitz and Kayak and Priceline, and they're often sharing information together. So by poking around, you're just not going to get that much more of a benefit.
And if you think booking far in advance is the secret to the best price, think again.
Airlines know that if you're booking 9 months in advance for a wedding, you're actually needing to take that ticket, and they seize the opportunity to charge premium prices.
Erkin says booking a flight 6 weeks to 3 months before your trip is best, and flying on Tuesdays is generally cheaper. However, he says the idea that you can save money by buying your ticket on a particular day is a myth, and so is talking your way into an upgrade. It may work on rare occasions.
It can be a little tricky, but if you know how to talk the talk.
But usually, it doesn't pay off.
You're not Jason Bourne, you're not James Bond.
Travel experts say the real secret to flying cheap is flexibility. Eureka Duncan, CBS News, New York.
Put your tax refund in a savings account and you can hit a $25,000 jackpot. The nonprofit Doorways to Dreams Fund created the lottery to encourage you to save rather than spend. For every $50 of your refund that you put into savings, you get a chance to win $100 during one of 100 weekly drawings. The grand prize is $25,000, and for a link to the lottery rules, just hop on our website, cbsboston.com.
Stepping strong 1 year after the Boston Marathon bombings. Jillian Reddy making huge strides after nearly losing her life. Coming up after the break, how this college freshman is taking on new challenges and her efforts to help others heal from the trauma.
And most of the weather news that we have for the next few days is good. There's one little chilly, cloudy roadblock in there. We'll talk about which day that falls on coming up.
I was on the photo bridge last year for our coverage of the marathon. To see the people who had instantaneously rushed in to help, not knowing if there was another danger there. Like, that's just, and that's all around us. These runners are really giving us a gift. After a tough year, to be able to come out and celebrate their achievement, it's good for all of us. For all the things we've shared last year to show Monday, I'm looking forward to that.
This is a dipstick. Dipstick. You use a dipstick to check your oil, like this. Oh. Time for a service before the oil gets low and hurts the engine.
Come into your local Meineke today for a basic oil change starting at $19.95.
More than 16 million children face the threat of hunger every day. That's why the Y is providing nutritious meals and snacks when the school day ends to keep children in your community healthy and strong. To learn more about the after-school meal program, go to ymca.net.
You know what matters? In today's prepackaged, one click, mass-produced, cookie-cutter, insta-everything world. What matters is human touch. just come in?
There's only one way to really save money on carpet and hardwood flooring: buy direct. Skip the middleman. That's what National Floors Direct is all about. I saved hundreds.
At National Floors Direct, we'll beat anyone's price by 15% or it's free. Call 888-400-4 for a free estimate.
This March, come see the Town Fair tire lineup with Bridgestone, Goodyear, Michelin, Firestone, and Toyo. It's madness to get your tires anywhere else. Nobody beats Town Fair tire. Nobody.
Brakes are designed to squeak when they start to go back. So if your brakes sound annoying, like this, then it's time to get your brakes inspected.
Come into your local Meineke today for 50% off brake pads and shoes.
This is the Name Your Price tool. It gives you options based on your budget. It's a piece of cake. I was told there would be cake.
Get a free quote at Progressive.com.
CBS Money Watch Stock Update is brought to you by Citizens Bank. Good banking is good citizenship.
Survivors, and focusing on the positive is what many of the survivors of the bombings are doing nearly a year after the attack.
Jillian Rennie suffered devastating trauma. Now she's using what happened to her to help others recover from similar injuries.
It would be a lie to say that I don't think about it.
Jillian Rennie is all about moving forward.
You know, what happened, it was terrible, but you can't dwell on that. It's not going to get you anywhere.
She and her parents were injured together, watching her sister finish the marathon when the bombs exploded on Boylston Street.
There was a lot of uncertainty at the beginning, and both my legs were injured, but my right was a lot worse than my left.
An aspiring dancer, the high school senior almost lost her life. She had serious injuries to both legs, limb-threatening to one. Multiple procedures and weeks at Brigham and Women's Hospital, punctuated by triumphs like this.
First walking.
With the love of her family and sparkly optimism, she fought to keep pace with her senior sprint.
My friends also, along with my mom, really helped me be able to go to prom with all my friends, and I made it to graduation. And
you must feel very proud of yourself.
I would never be where I am today without my amazing, amazing doctors. Like, I can't even talk about them because I just love them so much.
Hi, Jillian. How are you?
Doctors like plastic surgeon Dr. Christian Sampson, who'll run this year's marathon in her honor.
We quickly realized that with Jillian, we were dealing with a young lady who was extremely determined and had just a remarkable family for support.
Jillian's mom, Audrey, was at her side when she took on the demands of college on time last fall.
I'm proud of myself, but I know I couldn't have made it here without everyone who helped me so much.
The aptly named Jillian Rennie Stepping Strong Fund has been set up by her family at Brigham and Women's to help future patients heal just as successfully from trauma. At this year's marathon, her parents and sister will run together. What will you be thinking when you see all these people who love you cross the finish line?
I mean, I'm so proud of everyone and honored that they want to run in my honor and to support the fund, which means so much to me.
About how proud I am of my daughter, that I'm grateful that we can take something bad that happened to our family and try and turn it into something good.
Jillian hasn't decided yet where she'll be for this year's marathon, but she knows she'll be stepping strong.
Still improving every day, but getting better.
What a smile. And Jillian says the fracture in her leg actually still hasn't healed entirely. She's working to regain her strength, and she is adamant that what happened to her does not define her. If you'd like to contribute to the Jillian Rennie Stepping Strong Fund, we've put all the information you need on cbsboston.com. And join us for a WBZ special, Boston Marathon, The Road Ahead. We'll share inspiring updates from survivors of the attack and hear from first responders who've never told their stories. It is a special hour dedicated to Boston. Lisa and Jonathan host That's next Tuesday at 7 o'clock, right here on WBZ.
Jillian is absolutely adorable. And how strong is she? Even when she's walking, you can tell she's in a little bit of pain. Huge smile on her face.
She's just a sparkle.
We wish her the very best.
Great life.
Never get tired of seeing these stories.
You don't. They're always
we talk about
inspiring.
night. It's almost every night we have a story. They're almost all great. All these people overcoming adversity.
Yeah, every single one. Even when they've had a really rough road, you know, they just find the positive and go forward and inspire everyone around them. It's good stuff.
Well, you know what else we love to see? The sun finally emerged this afternoon, and we want it to stay.
Not bad at all. Sun feels good this time of year. We look at the map nationally, and this is a classic early April outlook. You got temperatures in the 80s for much of the south right now. Then you've got the 40s across the northern tier, a big division. And along that division, well, you always stir up some storminess. See the clouds there right through the middle of the country? Around here, we had some clouds around for the morning, kind of a milky sky. The sun came out strong during the afternoon, and now a gorgeous evening out there. It is cooler at the coast. It's the time of the season for some natural AC with the wind off the water. Cape Ann into Boston, down toward Hull and Nantasket, and over in the Cape. You're going to be staying in the 40s. It'll be the same setup during the day tomorrow. You move just a little bit westward, up near 60 in Fitchburg, well into the 50s in Worcester. Springfield actually up to 60 degrees, so a fine spring day. Tonight we're down near the freezing mark. Quiet evening, mainly clear skies, and the wind will become very light. Now tomorrow morning, it's going to be a little bit brighter than what we saw this past morning. I think the sunshine will be a little more prevalent tomorrow. 30s to start, upper 40s to near 50 at midday. Lots of sunshine, but again, there will be that onshore breeze, so especially right along the east coast of Massachusetts and into the Cape in particular, staying in the 40s tomorrow. 50s inland, sunset at 7:12. Another good day to get outside. Here's a look at the highs around the region. 40s up into Vermont and New Hampshire, so the snow melt continues there, and our mud season continues for a lot of us. Well, look out into our yards and can't quite get in there and get the yard work done just yet. In fact, there are still some flood warnings out. Some of the rivers still running high, so a lot of standing water. The story here is just of continued improvements over the next couple of days. We stay dry through tomorrow. We stay dry for most of Friday. We will have a pretty strong onshore flow on Friday. Plus, we have a storm moving in from the west. So we'll see clouds increase, rain showers arriving by the evening. Those rain showers are going to continue as we head through the overnight and into early on Saturday before some drier air moves in and will clear out for the second half of Saturday. So at Fenway Park, it's going to be a raw day. I'm thinking low 40s will be an onshore wind, the clouds will be increasing, and the rain will probably arrive right toward the end of the game, a little bit after. I think we're going to get lucky, and we'll hold off until after the game. Might want to bring an umbrella just to play it safe. On Saturday, any morning showers will end pretty quickly. We dry out well up into the 50s. On Sunday, we're in the 50s, mostly sunny and breezy, so a great first weekend of April. And most of the days here are at or a little above average. We haven't had a streak like this in quite some time around the area. To our AccuWeather 7-day forecast, I think Friday, the main bump in the road here. It's the grayest, the coldest. Temperatures may stay in the upper 30s for some spots near the coast. So we head toward the weekend. It's excellent. Monday, we're in the 50s. The clouds will arrive late. And then our next storm is a rainstorm Monday night and into Tuesday. You can see it'll be a very mild one. All right, our AccuWeather schoolyard shout-out of the day goes out to the Lincoln Hancock School in Quincy. Todd visited a classroom full of third graders there, all pumped about changing weather, the better recess conditions.
Yes.
And to meet Todd, of course. Talk a little bit about that.
But mostly recess conditions.
Definitely.
All right, thanks.
All right, we've seen some crazy x-rays over the years, nothing like this. And this one's hard to believe. A tree trimmer says that an accident with a chainsaw was all too real, and he has the pictures to prove it. 21-year-old James Valentine says he was working in a tree in Pennsylvania. Look at that picture. The chainsaw hit something, it bounced back off the tree and hit his neck. But amazingly, he had the sense to turn it off and hold it in place while he looked for help.
I was holding it with this hand, and I hugged the tree with this hand and just scooched my way down. As soon as I got down out of the tree and was sitting down on the ground, just seeing the blood just squirting out, it was crazy.
Yeah, crazy is a good word to put it. Trauma surgeons were able to remove the blade, stop the bleeding. Valentine has some stitches, but he will make a full recovery. And he plans to go back to work as soon as doctors give him the all clear. Maybe he should just work with the trimmer instead of the chainsaw for just a little while.
Someone who knows how to stay calm.
Saws are good.
Well, creating your own job security by using multiple skills.
Straight ahead for us. Why we're seeing more and more people making ends meet with hybrid incomes. Now let's check back with Jack and Lisa to see what's coming up next at 6.
Well, Jonathan and Paula, your next prescription or even your next doctor's visit could be more expensive.
Coming up new on our 6 o'clock news, health care reform bringing costs under control. John Keller shows us why that promise is on hold.
And it's perfect for every occasion, but Johnny Gomes isn't holding on to his White House jacket.
No, his plans for the fashionable attire coming up at 6.
People choose home health care because that's where they want to be, is at home. The Beata Way is the values and beliefs of the foundation of our work: compassion, excellence, and reliability. The relationship that the Beata employees create with their clients is one of trust, almost becoming a member of their own family. Our mission is to keep people at home safe, independent, and with dignity.
Learn more about Beata Home Healthcare at beata.com. Diamonds, the jewelry exchange, has half-carat solitaires for $4.99, 1-carat $9.90, 2-carat solitaires for $19.90, and 1-carat studs are $5.99. We have most sizes and grades of GIA diamonds, guaranteed the lowest price. Buy direct, the jewelry exchange in Sudbury.
I was impressed with how many great reviews they had.
What makes CertaPro different is that our people really care about making our customers happy.
They asked what they could do to make painting an extraordinary experience for us. And they kept the gate latched.
We worked from a personalized, written certainty pledge.
CertaPro painters did a wonderful job. They respected our lifestyle and our home.
It's about 5-star craftsmanship and having truly satisfied customers. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. CertaPro Painters, because painting is personal.
Report a claim. Pay your bill. Safety's mobile app is just one more way we help you manage life's storms. For auto, home, and business, ask your independent agent about safety insurance.
I was in constant pain.
Constant pain.
But I felt relief right away with Good Feet, and has allowed me to live a full and pain-free life.
Take that first step, pain-free.
For a location near you, visit bostonfootpain.com. For some, a second job is a necessity to pay the bills. For others, it's about following a passion.
Either way, more and more Americans are picking up extra work. Kate Merrill has a look at the growing trend of hybrid incomes.
I think I have some form of obsession with just coming up with ideas and trying to make them come to fruition.
Emily Beach is all about the next idea.
I do know that because of how my brain works, that I'm always going to have side things that I'm involved in.
In addition to her full-time job coaching field hockey, she has invented a tool to help her players online. She's got a website to help connect kids with coaches.
There's basically no such thing as job security anymore.
Author Kimberly Palmer says Emily may be onto something.
So we all have to build our own job security by having multiple streams of income.
Palmer calls this a hybrid income, someone who's juggling more than one job and using multiple skills. For many, it's more than an extra paycheck.
The number one benefit is peace of mind. You can sort of breathe easier at night. If worse came to worse, I have a backup.
For others, it's simply a creative outlet.
I just love coming up with different things.
But just make sure, say the experts, that you don't put the real payday in jeopardy.
You have to really plan how to do this without alerting or offending or creating a concern with your main gig that you're doing this on the side.
It's often a life-changing event like a layoff or having a child that drives people to the side job, but make sure you're pursuing your passion first before the need for some extra cash. Kate Merrill, WBZ News.
Stay with us. We have much more still ahead.
That's going to do it for us at 5 o'clock, but the news at 6 starts right now.
Live from our studios in Boston, WBZ News at 6 starts right now.
A final salute to one of Boston's bravest.
He was destined to do great things, and he did.
Family, friends, and thousands of firefighters honor Boston Fire Lieutenant Ed Walsh.
Look in bed, St. Florian, our patron saint, met Eddie at the gates of heaven and said, "Well done, my good and faithful friend. Well done."
It has been a week of incredible pain for Boston and its firefighters. I'm Jack Woody.
I'm Lisa Hughes. Today, the department laid to rest one of two brave men killed a week ago. The funeral was an emotional goodbye to Lieutenant Walsh, filled with powerful images. Lieutenant Walsh's brother carrying his helmet through the procession and ahead of the casket leaving the church. Walsh's young nephew dressed as a firefighter saluting his uncle. This little boy's father is also a firefighter. And the ringing of the bell to mark the end of Walsh's tour of duty.
Our coverage begins with Ken McLeod and the beautiful funeral mass, which was celebrated inside the church where Lieutenant Walsh was baptized 43 years ago. Ken?
Right you are, Jack, and at that time he was a month old, and my guess is that a small gathering of family was on hand. But when he returned here today, as you mentioned, for a final visit at the age of 43, the scene and mood were both immensely different.
We're here to celebrate his life, to recognize his service, duty, courage, and sacrifice.
And for more than 2 hours, they did just that, filling the church and the street out front. Cardinal Sean O'Malley was among those who personally comforted Ed Walsh's mother, widow, and 3 young children. His sister Kathy described her little brother as amazing and not so little.
But Eddie was only intimidating in size. He had a terrific smile and a wonderful sense of humor.
She dwelled on his dedication to family, but acknowledged his powerful commitment to firefighting, even though it came well into his 30s.
He had the voice of authority long before he earned the rank of lieutenant.
For 9 years, he'd been a firefighter, just like his dad and uncles before him. Walsh was killed last week when he charged into the basement of a brownstone inferno. Today, symbolic bells mark the lieutenant's final call home after a job well done. And his widow, Kristen, accepted the Medal of Honor for his bravery and sacrifice.
The summer's gone. And we need to learn from him. Let us be inspired by his example. And let each of us try to bring his spirit of service to our own communities.
Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. Several at today's funeral mass spoke directly to Walsh's young children, with one of them advising, tell stories about your dad often because it will strengthen your heart. Live in Watertown tonight, Ken McLeod, WBZ News. Jack, back to you.
Thank you, Ken. Lieutenant Walsh did not work in Watertown, but he certainly grew up there. And today, the community paused to pay its respects. Hundreds and hundreds of people lined the streets to watch the funeral procession and to support Walsh's family.
We're not affected. We don't know him, but it's just, these guys are just so honorable.
I just want the family and the other firefighters to know that the public cares what they do, and it's important to us that, you know, they come home safely, and unfortunately that didn't happen.
What a sight today with firefighters traveling from all around the country for today's service.
In the crowd, badges from New York, from Washington, Florida, and departments all over the country. Some firefighters stood on the roof of a neighboring building to salute Lieutenant Walsh, but not everyone could be there. At the Boylston Street Fire Station, firefighters remained on duty. As Christina Hager shows us this evening, this is a tragedy that further bonds men and women who risk their lives every day.
It's the soundtrack of one of the world's biggest families. On the streets of Watertown, onlookers strained for pictures of firefighters from across the country with salute upon salute, some from Canada.
We know how they feel, and it's bringing support, and that's what firefighters do. They're a brotherhood and sisterhood, and you know, it's a large family.
This may be the toughest job for his brothers from Engine 33, carrying his casket onto the truck they've worked on side by side for years, on a motorcade by his side to the end.
We count on our blessings every day that we go home, and we're very fortunate in the city of Toledo to be able to serve the citizens.
They do it because they know it could be them, and so many have lost partners in their own departments.
It's time to pay back.
Yonkers, New York.
We recently had some line of duty deaths ourselves, and people show their support for us, and it's just something you do. You know, you turn out for your brothers.
Toledo, Ohio.
We just suffered a loss just too much to the day ago of two of our own firefighters. So we felt it was important to be here for Boston.
Here, not only for Lieutenant Walsh, but for those he leaves behind. It seemed impossible so many firefighters could fit on one street. They say it has helped them when they suffered their own losses, and they can only hope this now helps Boston and Lieutenant Ed Walsh's family to heal. In Watertown, Christina Hager, WBZ News.
You may have heard this story. Lieutenant Walsh's wife gave his colleagues a very important mission: find her husband's wedding ring. Well, after searching the firehouse, Walsh's colleagues realized the ring had to be in the building where he lost his life. So, yesterday, they went into that basement and they searched. Patty Donovan, the first woman ever appointed to the Boston Fire Department, found the ring and all that rubble.
We just sifted through it by hand, and then I was going through it and I saw something round in the sifter that I had, and I picked it up and I cleaned it off a little and I slid it on my hand. I'm like, oh my God, this is it. And I found it. You got it. Yeah, it chills this runs through my body.
Well, right after that, yesterday, the firefighters drove immediately to Watertown, where Kristen Walsh was at her husband's wake. They gave her the ring inside the church. By the way, many of the firefighters went right from today's funeral to West Roxbury for the wake of firefighter Michael Kennedy. You're looking at live pictures coming from a funeral home in West Roxbury. And of course, the 33-year-old died right along with Lieutenant Walsh in last week's tragedy, a week ago today. Kennedy will be laid to rest tomorrow in the funeral mass at the Holy Name Church in West Roxbury. WBZ will carry that service live. And if you'd like to help the Kennedy and the Walsh families, you can send a donation to the Boston Firefighters Credit Union. The address, 60 Hallett Street, Dorchester. You can also donate online at the credit union's website. By the way, all of this information is on cbsboston.com.
First responders in another community are also mourning a loss tonight. A Plymouth motorcycle officer killed in a crash. Officers escorted the body of Greg Maloney from Boston to Plymouth today. Maloney was a 17-year veteran of the Plymouth police force. It's still unclear what caused the accident that killed him, but his best friend says everyone liked Greg.
Salt of the earth guy, funny guy, but the nicest guy you're ever going to meet. I mean, it's kind of cliche. Everybody talks about, when something tragic like this happens, and, what a great, it's absolutely true with Greg. Kind word for everybody, always a smile on his face.
Officer Greg Maloney leaves behind a wife and 2 teenage sons.
Healthcare reform is supposed to bring costs under control, but it looks like we'll have to wait for that. Experts say a perfect storm of factors could send your insurance costs soaring. John Keller has more on how rising healthcare costs are hitting home. John.
Well, Jack, as you know, much was made of the president's claim that if you liked your health care plan, you could keep it under Obamacare. Thousands of people in Massachusetts who remain unable to re-enroll would beg to differ. But another presidential promise, that the reforms would save the average family thousands of dollars, is also proving dubious, at least for now.
Under this law, the share of Americans with insurance is up.
They may be celebrating in Washington.
It's a nightmare.
But this local father of 2, months after he applied, still can't get proof he's covered from the problem-plagued State Health Connector.
They say I am. My pharmacy, and I went to another pharmacy to get prescription refilled, and they say no.
And the growth of healthcare costs is down.
For small businesses, if you have fewer than 50 full-time eligible employees, we're seeing a high single-digit increase to low teens on average.
And this healthcare expert says individuals like Michael Collins, when he does finally get his insurance card, can expect to pay up to 10% more as rising demand, Obamacare taxes, and the failure to sign up enough less risky patients send the rates soaring.
I wouldn't mind a 10-11% increase for my cost. I just would like
health insurance.
And who will get stuck with the estimated $100 million tab for the Mass Health Connector disaster?
I would love to hear someone from the administration detail for the residents, for the Commonwealth, how that's going to be paid.
Meanwhile, the president declares success, while his critics claim abject failure. How do we know who to believe?
I think it's a huge challenge for the American public.
Now, David Shore says he does see some positive early signs for healthcare reform amid all the bad news, most notably the beginnings of change in how we shop for healthcare. But he and Michael Collins share dismay at all the spin and posturing that has left beleaguered consumers more skeptical than ever about the viability of Obamacare. Lisa, back to you.
John, thank you. Coming up here on WBZ News, Harvard University shocked into action. The school responding to a student who says her sexual assault complaint was ignored.
Then coming up in a few moments on Wednesday's Child, you'll meet Elijah. Yes, he has autism and global delays, but he's really making progress. He'll give so much back to the right family willing to take him in.
And a good old-fashioned spring evening here around southern New England. We've got some warmer days and some colder days, particularly Friday in the forecast. We'll talk about those straight ahead.
It's Empire Today's biggest sale. 50% off carpet, 50% off padding and materials, and 50% off installation.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
With so many online degree options, we wanted to know why our students chose Southern New Hampshire University.
It is such quality education for the price.
And I love that it was an actual campus.
When I made that first phone call, they made it so easy. I like that it was a nonprofit school and there was a huge focus on education.
It's not about furthering themselves, it's about furthering me, and I wanted to be a part of that.
Fund your online graduate or undergraduate program today and see yourself succeed at snhu.edu.
Businesses come in all sizes, and so do their financial needs. At Commerce Bank, we've helped hundreds of businesses, large and small, achieve their goals with innovative products, billion-dollar lending power, and experts who understand your business and your marketplace. Whether you need $200,000 or $20 million, call or visit us at bankatcommerce.com. Commerce Bank. Ask what we can do for you.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think. Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No?
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta. La Quinta.
Teddy Bruschi here. Let's analyze this important play. Here's a patient scheduling an MRI at her doctor's office. The receptionist reaches for the same old phone, ready to send the patient to the same old hospital. But the patient says, wait, I want to go to Shields MRI. She knows that Shields offers a quality MRI that could save her up to $1,000 or more. Now that's a key defensive move. Why overpay for an MRI? Choose to go where I go. Shields MRI.
It's Empire Today's biggest sale. 50% off carpet, 50% off padding and materials, and 50% off installation.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
Just getting word of this breaking news, a shooting at Fort Hood in Texas. CBS News has learned at least 4 people are injured. They were all taken to hospitals as a precaution. Apparently, they were taken in private vehicles. This is a shooting that occurred in several buildings. The shooter is still believed to be on the loose, and we do know tonight that Fort Hood is in lockdown. A spokesman for Fort Hood describing the situation as serious. Now, you'll remember, this base was the scene of a mass shooting, a deadly shooting, back in 2009. As we get new information, and we expect we will pass it on right away. Other news tonight, lawmakers holding meetings in Washington next week, hoping to determine whether anything could have been done to prevent the marathon bombings. The Homeland Security Committee holds a hearing next Wednesday. The chief of the Watertown Police Department, Ed DeVoe, and former police commissioner and WBZ security analyst Ed Davis have been invited to testify. Last week, the committee released a report that recommended improvements in the way police agencies at every level share information. And we hope you'll join us next Tuesday for inspiring updates from survivors of the attack. You'll hear from first responders as well, who have never told their stories. Jonathan and I hosting a special presentation, Boston Marathon, The Road Ahead. That's next Tuesday night right here at 7 o'clock.
A student's anonymous letter is driving Harvard University to form a task force to look at sexual assault on campus at Harvard. Now this week, the Harvard Crimson printed a letter from a student who said that she was sexually assaulted by another student. But the school did nothing to help her, even refusing to move her or the attacker out of the dorm. The task force will work with another campus group which is already trying to reform Harvard's policies.
Well, let's chat a little bit about the weather situation. Tonight's just perfect evening out there in terms of spring weather. It's not warm, but it's pleasant. Clear skies over Boston. We're looking at Fenway Park, where we know it'll be a little different scene here just a couple days from now, as we'll have the home opener. And tell you what, unfortunately, it looks like the coldest day of our forecast will be for that home opener. Now, we have the natural AC kicking in along the coast. It's that time of year, the wind off the water. Low 40s in Chatham right now, 45 in Falmouth. If you move away from the water and inland, up around 60 degrees, 59 in Fitchburg right now. The last little bit of snowfall that's hanging on here across Massachusetts continues to melt. Tonight we're looking at temperatures falling near the freezing mark, mainly clear skies, really quiet, no major issues if you're heading out and about. And then as we look toward tomorrow, it'll be all about the clouds that have been moving off to our south and west, right in here. We've got clear skies in the evening. You notice that front has settled off to the south, though the gray skies are up earlier on today, moving out. But as we head into the day on Friday, that band is going to be moving closer toward us. The wind's going to be off the water. It's not just a sea breeze, it's a stronger onshore flow. So we're all going to be into the colder air this time. And then later in the afternoon and the evening, the rain showers will move in. They stay with us through Friday evening and into early on Saturday before this front moves through and we dry out for the most of the day on Saturday. We will salvage the vast majority of the weekend. So tomorrow morning, bright, chilly, temperatures in the 30s. We're in the upper 40s at lunchtime. And again, it's the same story as today. We'll have the warmer temperatures inland, making your way into the 50s, but staying in the 40s right at the coast. Sunset is at 7:12 for your Thursday. Highs tomorrow again. You just notice all the oranger shadings, the warmer temps, western Mass and down into Connecticut in particular. Then we get to Friday. The clouds will be rolling in at Fenway Park. It looks like low 40s. It's not home run ball weather. It'll be dense air in place. And I think the rain is going to wait until just after that game wraps up. We'll update the forecast, of course, tomorrow. You might need an umbrella just for the walk home. For the weekend, showers persisting in the morning on Saturday. It looks like the afternoon dry well into the 50s, and then 50s on Sunday. Breezy, lots of sunshine, a very fitting first weekend of April, with temperatures actually running at or above average. A novel concept, I know. The coldest day by far is Friday in our forecast. After that, even looking into next week, things are going to be pretty comfortable. There's your AccuWeather 7-day. As we head through a gorgeous day tomorrow and the chilly stuff on Friday, we get towards Saturday near 60, Sunday in the 50s, Monday in the 50s to near 60, and up around 60 again on Tuesday. The next storm is a rain event for us. We should clear out by Wednesday. All told, the snow continues to disappear, and at least we have a dry stretch this week after all the rain that wrapped up on Monday. Lisa, Jack, back to you.
And we are glad it wrapped up. Eric, thank you. Red Sox in Baltimore.
Well, we have better luck this time.
In the first game of the season. Absolutely. Let's hope they bounce back tonight. After visiting the White House yesterday, it's back to baseball for the Sox tonight. Game 2 against the Baltimore Orioles. John Lackey will get the start for the Sox. The Orioles will counter with Ubaldo Jimenez as the Sox hope to get their first win of the year. The only lineup change for opening day. Well, check this out. Johnny Gomes, gets the start in left field instead of Mike Carp. And speaking of Gomes, TMZ reports the Star Spangled Blazer he wore to the White House will be auctioned off for charity. Jack, go ahead and place your bid. And a follow-up on a Big Papi selfie with the president. There was a lot of speculation that David Ortiz got paid for taking and posting that picture because he has an endorsement deal with Samsung. Today, Ortiz told reporters it was spontaneous, saying, who knows if they can get a picture with the president? Who can guarantee that? Bruins are gunning for their 10th straight win on the road tonight when they take on the Red Wings in Detroit. Last time the Bees were in the Motor City back in November, they got smoked 6-1. Now, Claude Julien wants a better performance this time around against a team they might see in the postseason.
I think we have to recognize the fact that we could see them in the playoffs. It's getting closer to being finalized there with these last few games, so we need to go there with a purpose of continuing to play well. And I don't think it's an absolute must-win, but we got to play better than we did in the last time.
Meanwhile, the Celtics are trying to end a 10-game losing streak on the road tonight as they take on the Washington Wizards. Avery Bradley didn't play in the second half of Monday night's loss because of a sore Achilles. He said he hopes to play tonight. Patriots news for you. With the NFL draft just a little over a month away, multiple reports say the team is hosting two big-name quarterbacks in Foxborough today. Texas A&M's Johnny Manziel and Louisville's Teddy Bridgewater. Now, neither of these guys should still be on the board when the Pats get a chance to pick. And they aren't looking to replace Tom Brady. It's just all part of the scouting process. From Johnny Football to Johnny Hockey, BC's Johnny Gaudreau has been named one of 3 finalists for the Hobie Baker Award, which goes to the best player in college hockey. The junior forward has 35 goals and 42 assists this season. He was runner-up for the award last year. The winner will be announced on April 11th. And on Saturday night, the Revs take on DC United. You can watch the game at 7 o'clock over on My TV 38. So hopefully the Red Sox will get their first one of the season tonight with Lackey on the mound.
Well, we'll be certainly keeping our fingers crossed.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Steve. CBS Evening News is coming up at 6:30.
And once again, Scott Pelley joins us live from New York City with the preview. Scott?
Jack, Lisa, great to be with you in Boston. Money talks in politics, and it's about to get a whole lot louder. In a remarkable decision today, the Supreme Court of the United States lifted a major campaign finance restriction. We'll tell you all about it and have the rest of the world news for you on the CBS Evening News in about 10 minutes.
Thank you, Scott. Coming up next on Wednesday's Child, searching for a family for Elijah. This little boy is living with some challenges, but already he has overcome so much.
40 years ago, inside these woods, a legend was born. The Mountain Man.
He was part of the Appalachian population.
Some horror stories are real. I'm going to decide whether you live or die. In Criminal Minds. Then
You gotta wait your turn. Russell is in the room with the shooter.
the world's gonna know who I am, because it's over. All new CSI after an all-new Criminal Minds. CBS tonight.
This was once my street. It's time to turn the street lights back on, to turn the close sign around. This street does have a name. This is Main Street, where we are made in America, with pride, with peace, with positive energy. Alex and Ani.
Seize that dream. In your own backyard. Outstanding academics. Career smart programs. Cost smart programs. 9 institutions. 9 neighbors. For the Commonwealth. For you. Your incredible state university system.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know Pinocchio was a bad motivational speaker?
I look around this room and I see nothing but untapped potential. You have potential. You have... Oh boy.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I love to eat. I love hanging out with my friends. I have a great fit with my dentures. I love kiwis. I've always had that issue with the seeds getting under my denture. Super Polygrip Free, it creates a seal of the dentures in my mouth.
Even well-fitting dentures let in food particles. Super Polygrip is zinc-free. With just a few dabs, it's clinically proven to seal out more food particles, so you're more comfortable and confident while you eat.
Super Polygrip Free made the kiwi an enjoyable experience.
Try zinc-free Super Polygrip.
Now, in less time than you ever imagined, you can breathe new life into your basement and add much-needed living space to your home with the Owens Corning Basement Finishing System. Did you know installing drywall can take months? But our system is installed in about 2 weeks with virtually no mess. So in practically no time, you'll not only finish your basement, you'll transform your home. Call 1-800-BASEMENT now for a free video and design consultation. It's a fact. Nobody knows basements better than Owens Corning.
Tonight on Wednesday's Child, a 6-year-old boy named Elijah.
You know, he's faced a lot on his own during his short life, but as I found out, he reacts wonderfully to kind attention.
One more.
This is Elijah, a 6-year-old boy in search of angels for parents. Faced with more than his share of problems, Elijah turned out to be a fun-loving little boy who we got to laugh out loud with an unbridled enthusiasm that was truly uplifting. Elijah was born with autism and global delays, but when we took him to excel climbing and gymnastics in Newton, a new world opened up for him, and we had a ball, and he wouldn't stop smiling. I talked to his social worker about his needs and his future.
He's currently living in a residential facility where he's making tremendous progress. We're very, very happy to report that he goes to a public school in a small classroom, but he's making so much progress. He likes taking on new experiences. He's very active. He has a beautiful, beautiful smile. I think the family who is lucky enough to have Elijah in their home will have a child who will give them tons of love.
It will take a special person or couple to volunteer for parenthood, but Elijah will bring surprises and an appreciation for the simple things in life. It's so wonderful to see him so happy. As I said, we're looking for angels. For more information on Elijah, call the Massachusetts Adoption Resource Exchange at 1-800-882-1176. You know, for over 20 years, Wendy's in Massachusetts and New Hampshire has given a Wednesday's Child coupon promotion. Well, it was just completed, and Wendy's gave Wednesday's Child another $180,000 to find homes for special needs adoption. Thank you, Wendy's, and all your customers.
So generous, and clearly they recognize what we all see, that you are making a huge difference in the lives of these kids.
It's a great pleasure to try to help.
All right, we'll hope Elijah can find a forever family, too. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Massachusetts State University System, building the innovation economy for tomorrow's Commonwealth. Learn more at massstateuniversities.com.
Like us, and you could drive away with the car of your dreams. Enter the Like CBS and Win sweepstakes, and you could win an all-new 2015 Audi A3. Go to our Facebook page, click like, and enter for your chance to win.
It's Wheel Across America. Find out Vanna's road trip secret.
Just in case of an emergency.
Are we there yet?
What are you doing?
They said it was Wheel Across America.
Tonight at 7 on WBZ-TV.
Only got a buck? Well, you're in luck. Workout World's running its $1 down sale for 8 days only. Join Workout World for just $1 down and only $10 a month with no commitment. But hurry, sale ends April 8th at midnight only at Workout World.
When you walk in the Avon Walk for Breast Cancer, 12 women can get mammograms. When you walk in the Avon Walk, you fuel research into the causes of breast cancer. Last year, Avon walkers helped save the lives of thousands of women. It's a simple equation. The more of us who walk, the more of us survive. Register at avonwalk.org or call 866-737-WALK.
Everything you're looking for. The larger your inventory, the better your selection. At Bach Honda, we have everything you're looking for at one of our 2 great locations. Bach Honda on the Auto Mile, Route 1 in Norwood, or Bach Honda West in Westford, Mass.
Come on down.
Choose from hundreds of new and pre-owned vehicles online at Bach.com. 2 great Bach Honda locations, 1 legendary low Bach Honda price.
Unfortunately, I didn't reach Boylston Street, but I did end up receiving a finisher's medal for the 2013 Boston Marathon. Similarly, I received a medal from the Special Olympics, thanking me for fundraising for running in their honor. You guys want to play? With the Special Olympics, I think it's a really great example of transcending barriers, and that's something that has always been important to me. We're all in this together, and we're going to cross Boylston Street, and we're going to celebrate, all of us.
Today we're showing Real People Xfinity Internet.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about your internet
want to tell me a little bit about that? It's kind of slow. I bet we can have all three of these guys on their devices and download our favorite HD show. You're going to be impressed. Xfinity delivers the fastest in-home Wi-Fi. Look how fast it is. So flippin' fast. How does this compare to your current provider?
Not as good as this.
We're done.
Get the speed to power all your devices. Upgrade to Xfinity Internet for $29.99 a month for a whole year. See for yourself. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Only got a buck while you're in luck. Workout World's running its $1 down sale for 8 days only. Join Workout World for just $1 down and only $10 a month with no commitment. But hurry, sale ends April 8th at midnight. Only at Workout World.
We just got some new information on our breaking news, a shooting at Fort Hood in Texas. The CBS stations in that area are now reporting that one person has died and that at least 4 other people are wounded. The gunman is not in custody. Fort Hood is in lockdown. The shooting was in the motor pool area, and witnesses are saying that as many as 20 shots were fired. We'll have updates on this story next on the CBS Evening News, and again tonight right here on WBZ News at 11.
Well, it's hard to believe that it's happened again at Fort Hood where that other tragedy took place. Oh, boy. That does it for us. We'd like to thank you for watching.